Yeah, we're good. We're good.
There it is.
Look at that. We're good. Look at that.
Nailed it.
On
Nailed
time. On
Always.
time. Look at this. We had one brief Ramble Radio hiccup. And now, look at us. And now, look at us. Just up, shup. Oh, hey, oh, hey. Oh, hey, oh, hey. Hey, oh. Come on. Come on, baby. Where those daisies? How about that for lyrics, huh?
That's not bad. I think they've been used before.
People like the girl with a Daisy Duke sound. You think that's been done?
Might have been. Sounds familiar.
Nuts. There it is. Look at that. The final
wow.
beep. And then the timing, and then here we are. Same wound on my nose because we're recording this about 5 minutes after we finish recording Ramble Radio.
Yes.
But this would be the Ramble 421 episode. The podcast name isn't Ramble 421.
No.
The podcast is a Ramble, a geek's guide to pop culture. This is episode 421. We are your geeks.
Yes, we are.
I'm comedian Jerry Rocha. That over there.
Yeah, comedian Eddie Pence.
There it is. And here we are. We're here to talk to you about the things we love and geek out over. All those kind of things.
All the time.
We're nerds, but we're not the smart kind.
No, definitely not that.
We're the opposite. We're grown men that spend money on things they shouldn't be spending money on. Those kind of nerds. Those kind
children.
of nerds.
Children in huge bodies.
Children in massive bod. That's what we are. That's what we are. It's if we could go back in time, would we stop Trump? No, we would laser focus on being the first ones to get every Dinobot the day they came out. You know what I mean? That's where that's the
priorities
that's
are.
where our stupidity and our priorities are, and that's why we're dumb. That's why. But here we are. Look at us, man. Eddie, how's your day? You feeling better? Had a rough one.
Better.
Now you're
still better. Getting there.
Rated. Still slinging that D though. Has that stopped?
I sling the D. I don't have to be awake to sling the D. I can sling the D anytime.
Even food riddled with food poisoning, you're slinging that shit.
Still slinging D.
Still slinging D. Food poisoning all up and down the system. This is Ramble. So the Ramble 420, which was obviously our ode to all things marijuana and CBD, has ended.
Yeah.
And now,
what a show that was.
What a show that was. Email us, ramble@theramblepod.com. You can follow us. Do we even have an X account still? We might have. I don't know.
Maybe.
I deleted the app on my phone, but but we're on Instagram at Podcast Ramble. You can see our lovely faces on YouTube at the Ramble Teeb. We have our merch, our T Public Plays. Please subscribe to the Ramble. 5-star rating, positive text review. You do those things, well, you're pretty swell in our book.
Yeah, not bad.
You don't do those things. Chump City. How's Chump City? How's the weather in Chump Town?
Took an exit to Chump Town.
Yeah, how's that?
Yeah.
Having fun raising kids.
How's traffic there in Chump Town? Pretty busy.
Yes, how's that going? Jesus. I just can't talk about. So we're gonna geek out today on some things. One of them, it's gonna be video games. We might dabble in music. We're definitely gonna talk about the Penguin TV show. We're definitely gonna talk some kick-ass action figures in the Marvel world. But I started playing a game that I'd never played before in my life when it had first came out. Because remember, Eddie, when it came to gaming, I was a Nintendo guy.
Yeah.
I was a Nintendo guy.
That was it.
I didn't fuck with anything else. Company man, top to fuck Sega, fuck TurboGrafx 16, fuck Neo Geo, fuck them all. That's how I was.
Right.
I don't give a. I remember my cousin had the Sega Master System. I was like, "What loser shit is this?" That's what I didn't say it out loud, but I was thinking, "Bitch, what?" But then he also had a Nintendo, so I was like, "Okay, maybe he's balling." I didn't realize that, like. If you have every GoBot, I'm like, what? But even every GoBot and every Transformer?
Then you're like, okay.
All
right. I see what your game is.
I get this. You have your minions, and then you have your real deals. I'm assuming. Right. Whoa! But and then again, I've well documented. Knights of the Old Republic is what brought me to finally buy another console. Because like, well, God, I have to play this. Fuck,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't regret it.
That was
although-
the Xbox, right?
Yeah,
Knights of
and
the
I
Old
was
Republic
talking to
Xbox.
my buddy Andrew DeWitt over this, and because one thing that bugged me, but like it was just I thought it was odd when I played Knights of the Old Republic, the first one, how
Yeah.
like it was like 10, not that, but like it was like what 1,000 years before A New Hope or some
Something like
shit,
that.
and they
Something like
got
that.
the same technology. You can't give me one new thing in 1,000 years. You can't give me nothing new.
Nothing.
Is that weird? But then I
Little
was like,
bit.
it's weird to see that in sci-fi. But my buddy Andrew was like, you have to remember, Star Wars is not really sci-fi. It's still fantasy.
It's fantasy. It's not sci-fi.
It's fantasy.
Star
Just-
Trek is sci-fi.
Star Trek is like you have some Star Trek prequel from 1,000 years from now in Star Trek. All kinds of crazy shit will be happening.
All sorts. I mean, just from Next Generation to the original, there's
Come
all
on.
sorts of crazy new
All
shit. Yeah.
sorts of crazy new shit. But yes, with Star, I was like, yeah, that's right. Star Wars is just kind of fantasy, and
It's fantasy.
that is a problem with fantasy. There's no inventors in the fantasy.
Yeah.
Lord, and you watch that Rings of Power series, like they're still on horses. Wait, this Rings of
No one
Power
invents
shit.
a car by now.
This 1,000 years ago.
You have magic, but no internal combustion engines. What the fuck, man?
Like the Rings of Power show.
Yeah.
The cold open on season 2. This shit's like 1,000 years before anything, and everything looks the same. Motherfucker still got the same armor, still got the same sword. What is this shit?
Not one glass window in this motherfucker.
You can't build anything new.
No elevator. What?
You can't have, not one person has fucking made an electric lute. There's not one elf who's like, you know what, fuck it, let's crank this shit. Like, uh-oh. I just stumbled upon another topic. I don't know if we should. Okay, well, we're gonna. I'm gonna try to, but just I'm gonna put loot in the back of my head. But anyway, so I was always a Nintendo guy.
Sure.
And then Knights of the Old Republic, but I was still hesitant. I'm like, I'm just gonna play this. I don't give a fuck, because I had a buddy of mine from high school who ran a GameStop, so he would give me discounts. It was great. So I would get it. He would call me, hey, we just got a used Xbox. Boom, right over. I would get the disc. So it was cheap. Right, I'm not playing anything. Fuck this. I'm not an Xbox guy. I'm not.
Right. I'm just
Knights.
dabbling. I'm just
Dabbling.
Knights. That's it.
We're dabbling, and then it was so funny when I was there picking up. I believe I was coming in, and I was like, "Well, shit. What other Xbox? Fuck it. Okay, let's see." Right, and I start looking, and then I see on the PS2 display in the store, they're showing the serpent fight from the first level of the first God of War game, and I was like,
Oh.
I was like, well, I was like, something that captured my youth just as much as Star Wars and The Legend of Zelda as a kid was Greek mythology. And here's a game where you're just like fighting all the Greek gods. And I'm like, fuck! You know what I mean?
Not an Xbox guy. I'm just dabbling. I'm just dabbling.
But now that was
Knights
the
and Gods of
PlayStation.
War.
And so now I'm like, now I got to get a third system? I'm like, But then, and sure enough, he calls me like a fucking dealer. Like, hey, we got to use PS2. I'm like, and and I also had just gotten a paycheck from work, and I had just gotten like 3 one-nighters all around Dallas. So I had like an extra 6 hondo burning
Babe.
a hole in my stupid pocket. And so I was like, yeah, I could afford to use PS2 at a discount and got it. So then now I'm a PlayStation. Now I just was like, well, fuck it. Now I'm just going to have them all. And that's what's but one game I still missed in the PlayStation world was this right here. Silent Hill 2.
Hill.
Apparently it's a masterpiece. And I was like,
Is it?
okay. And
Never
they
played it.
just remastered it from the ground up for the PS5, and I started it. Holy shit, where have you been all my life? It is fucking like there's this great comic, Mike Drucker, who's also a writer, and he wrote a book about Silent Hill 2, and it was really good. But I was more taken by his story and the way he described it, and I kind of forgot a lot about the game, so it's still kind of new playing it. And this is, dude, it's so good. It's so fucking good. It's just, Oh man! And the opening though, you go into this town, Silent Hill, and it's like a literal ghost town. It's just everything's boarded up. It's just covered in fog, and I'm just like, Jesus, this is gonna be fucking every red state in 2025. By October of 2025, this is gonna be fucking every red state. But at least my daughter ain't got a racetrack against no tranny. Duh. Yeah, that's what. But anyway, it's fucking tremendous. It's so fucking good. Oh God, I'm kind of kicking myself for not having done
being
more.
a company man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at Nintendo. I still play Nintendo all the time, but I should have known Nintendo's still going to be there.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
It's a whole world out there.
Could you imagine, Eddie, if this were the 60s and you came to my apartment and was like, dude, you got to hear this band. The song's called Satisfaction of the Rolling Stones. I'm like, I'm a Beatles guy. Like, what? What?
You could listen to both.
Imagine if you came to me and was like, dude, look, there's this band out of Seattle called Nirvana. I'm like, nah, Pearl Jam. I'm just a Pearl Jam guy. Like, what, you can't listen to another one? They're probably on tour together. Like, what are you worried about? It was very stupid of me. But now I have been for at least 3 or 4 consoles. Like, starting with the PS2 and the Xbox, I was like, fuck it, okay. So I got the PS3, I got the Xbox 360. Yeah, it was one of the whatever. That's the life, man. That's the fucking life now.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You have to. But Silent Hill 2 is so good. Do you have your geek out ready?
I do. We both subscribe to Marvel Unlimited.
MU is what we call
MU.
it.
The app, you get all the back issues of every comic Marvel's ever made.
And then the new ones that come out, you wait like what?
Takes about 6 months to get the new ones. About 6 months to get the new ones.
Too bad. So once an arc is ending, you can jump onto the beginning of it. It's not that
pretty
bad.
much.
It's not
too bad. So I've been a member there for 4 years now, and
we
every
signed
year
up at the same time, right?
I think the same time. Every year you renew your subscription, you get a little gift package from Marvel Unlimited.
Time out.
Yeah.
Hemp Vita renews it for us. Come on.
That's true.
The Hemp Vita.
Our guys at Hemp Vita have all of our subscriptions on renewal.
They pay our shit for it. But yes, go ahead. Sorry.
So you get usually get a little box, and it comes with a comic book, a pin, a patch,
poster, usually a
poster, some sort of one sheet of something, and then a figure. You get an exclusive Marvel Legends figure.
It's a badass loot box.
It's not a bad loot box as a thank you for renewing your subscription.
Yep.
And in years past, they've given out a Daredevil. I think they gave out a gold Ultron.
That was the first one I got. Was a gold Ultron Marvel Legends. Fucking awesome.
Last year's was Miss Marvel. It's a cool figure.
Yep.
And this year, this is the first year usually it's unpackaged. It's just a single figure. This one they sent it in the package this year, and it's Spider-Knight. Look at that.
Oh, the only thing that pisses me off is I don't get that, and I get mine 4 months after you. I don't know why.
Which is weird. I don't know why it's so different.
It's weird. Look at that fucking Moon Knight Spider-Man. Holy shit.
It's fucking a badass. I never even read the comic where Moon Knight was Spider-Man.
Me neither.
No
I want to now.
But it's a badass figure.
And it could just be him entering a farting contest, and I'm okay. Great.
A fart smelling contest. I don't even care.
I'm in. I'll read it. I'll read that comic gladly. Look how fucking slick that is.
Fucking gorgeous figure. Gorgeous figure.
Can I see it again? Can the fine folks see it again? Let's just
look at this. Spider-Man with the power of Moon Knight. Could you imagine?
You don't want to tussle with that fellow. Look at that shit.
Look at that.
God,
his cape is web. It's beautiful.
That's fucking. And see, this is how exclusive should be. A weird, odd character. We're like, what that?
Some sort of
when
weird
did that
variant.
happen? Yeah, and then you get it, and it's that. See, they do it right. That's
how you do
fucking, Oh, that's gorgeous, dude. That's some gorgeous shit right there. That is some gorgeous. Now, man, Eddie, I'm going to have to...
Exclusive should be exclusive. It should be something like, oh, fuck, I didn't know that existed.
What was that? Shit, okay.
Yeah. Not something like, oh, we all should have that because it's part of the collection.
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm trying to think of like what. Do you think we ever get the amalgam universe? Do we get a line where McFarlane and Hasbro come together and they give us Dark Claw, the Wolverine, Batman? Ooh. That was I mean I don't think anything else came close in that amalgam universe to Dark Claw. That was just, if you're gonna mix them, it's the perfect one. And then they mixed Joker and Sabretooth to be the hyena. Perfect.
That's cool. Yeah.
It was perfect. It was fucking perfect. It was dark. It was just Batman, but with the fucking Wolverine. We had the Wolverine cowl and the fucking claws. Get the fuck out of here. It's just, oh, fuck. That was, they need to come together to give us some amalgam figures. That would be fucking bad. Bait ace right there.
Bait ace.
That would be fucking, I would love that. I would be all about that. But dude, speaking of DC, Eddie, Penguin.
Penguin. I still haven't gotten on it. I got to get on it. I tried to start the other night, and it was right before Colton's bedtime, and it was like, oh, it's like an hour, so I gotta.
Yeah, they're each about an hour.
Yeah.
And wow, that's it. I never thought I'd say this about a DC thing that wasn't even James Gunn, because at least there's the excitement of James Gunn. What can he do?
Right.
We are entering, like, you got to go to the Christopher Reeve Superman or Tim Burton Batmans to find a better DC thing. Filmed
really?
DC
This
thing.
That good?
It was. I fucking loved it. Loved it.
Wow.
It was like, goddamn. It was. Man. I thought it was great. There's no end credit scene in the last episode, so I'll tell you that. However, the final shot probably would have been an end credit scene, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's very quick, but it was like chef's kiss. It was just,
because I was reading this series ends supposedly 2 weeks before the next Batman film begins. Like, it leads right up to
makes sense.
the next Batman film.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could. Whoo! It was, wow. It was, man. It really, it's
a lot of. I mean, I don't want to give any spoiler type stuff away. Is there any character cameos where you're like, oh shit?
Not that I've noticed.
Okay.
Which is even more impressive.
Yeah, that's usually your easy oh shit moment.
It was like, whoa, like the final shot is only a hint of that, but right. it was still like, oh, okay, that's cool. And like, but I'm kind of wondering, and I know, like, this is where I'm going to get some blaspheme in here, Eddie.
Okay.
God, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Oh God, no shit. This is can of worms I'm opening up here. So the Ramblers, feel free to take me to task on this. Remember how everyone kind of assumed, really looking back, like, shouldn't Dr. Doom have been like the Iron Man's main villain?
Right.
Shouldn't Penguin be above the Joker as the number one villain for Batman? I'm just saying, if you want to go comic book, he's the same dude. He's super rich, right?
Right.
But his wealth and power, he just uses to run a criminal empire.
Right.
Wayne's wealth and power, he uses to stop criminals.
They're almost mirror images of each other in their personas.
More so than Batman and the Joker.
Right.
I think. Now,
so maybe Penguin and Bruce Wayne are mirror images, and then the Joker and Batman are mirror images.
Right, I guess. But then more Penguin, Bruce Wayne. Like, if we're gonna do that, right? Like, I don't know. I just think I'm like, this Penguin is the perfect Bruce Wayne villain. Like, perfect. Like, and he definitely had more shine, I thought, in the 60s and 70s, 40s, whatever, right? Not they kind of went away from him. I mean, obviously, because The wah, wah, wah. You know, that's yeah. They really, and it's funny. Like you would think the Joker should be the one who's not taken, who's portrayed a little lighter. You know, but the Penguin is the one who he's just a fucking wah, wah, wah.
He's a human penguin.
Whereas like this, I think is like it's like this Penguin, the Colin Farrell Penguin. It feels like he is the criminal guy. You know, he wants to have his own criminal empire. However, he's just that much less psychotic than the Danny DeVito Penguin. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just he's just a little less, but still. And what I love about this guy, and this is not a spoiler, but in one of the early, I think it's in the first episode, maybe the second one, he's driving around one of the main areas that was devastated by the Riddler's attacks from the first movie.
Right.
And I just love how angry and also dismissed. I can't believe what this madman did to this place. Like, so you see him. He's a guy who I don't know that any of the Batman villains scare him, right? Like, I don't know if I don't know if Joker could get under his skin, this guy. And you see why. When you watch when you're like, yeah, I don't see Joker freaking this guy out. Scarecrow could blow his shit in his face. He'd be like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I just...
Right.
And I think maybe I'll better say it. I don't care about seeing a Joker in this Batman universe. I know they're going to do it, but I would just rather see Wayne go toe-to-toe with this fucking guy. Like, I would rather see Batman go toe-to-toe with the Penguin, this Penguin. It was...
Interesting.
It was... Fuck, man. And there are moments where, like, because he's the main person, and I think it was a genius show in the sense that, like, you find yourself rooting for him during these shit hits the fan moments, right? You find yourself rooting for the Penguin during the, oh shit, what's going to happen here? But then at the very end, you're like, why did anybody root for this guy ever? Like, it's just like, oh, fuck, God. Like, it's just, and it reminded me, I think one of the best vampire movies I've ever seen is a Jim Jarmusch film called Only Lovers Left Alive. And it's with Tilda Swinton and Tom Hiddleston. And they play vampires who have been in love for like 400, 500 years. Yeah. And not Tom Hiddleston, the other guy, who was Loki?
Tom Hiddleston.
It was okay. I'll keep Holland is Spider-Man. Yeah. I mean, yes, that's so Hiddleston. He's in present times. He's just a musician chilling in Detroit. He's been a musician his whole life, and you get the idea that he was there during the Baroque period, right? Like he's just a music dude, right? Yeah. And now he just plays rock and whatever. And Tilda Swinton's his lover, and she comes to visit him, and for them, like 40 years apart is like a month, right? So she's coming to see him, and the whole movie they're just like. It's great because Hurt is in it. What's his name? John Hurt from Alien, and the guy who the alien busted out, and he plays the guy that some people think Shakespeare stole all this shit from. That playwright, was it Marlowe? I forgot the guy's name, but do you know who I'm talking about? Christopher Marlowe, is that right?
I don't know his name.
Yeah, he was a playwright in England. I think what was it? Was it Marlowe? Fuck. Now, who was it? I'm just going to Google guy that Shakespeare ripped off. Who do you think we... let's see if that comes up. It was Christopher something. Fuck. Who was the guy's fucking name? This is pissing me off. See, everybody just fucking gives Shakespeare... You know what I mean? Like, they give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, he might have. I thought for a minute there they wouldn't shut up about how he ripped this fucking dude off. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And now now that the internet just scrubs it, Eddie. They just scrub it. Hold on, I'm gonna find who it was. Why do we have to protect Shakespeare? Christopher Marlowe. Yeah, fuck, I knew it.
Okay, you knew that shit. You knew that shit.
I knew that, but anyway, so he plays him. He was a vampire too, and he's like, 700. But anyway, the whole movie, they're just making their way in the world today, right?
Right.
And
sure.
The what's his face, Hiddleston. He has a connection at a local hospital, and it's an orderly, and he just gives that dude a wad of cash, and that guy just takes a couple of packets of blood from the blood donation, right? And just here you go,
right?
And that's how he feeds, right? So you don't have to,
right.
But at the end of the so you really start to really enjoy the characters. Think they're so well done. They're so, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
And I think it's a brilliant. I'm gonna spoil the whole fucking thing. Jim Jarmusch, he's so fucking good. But the end of the film, they're like famished and they're starving and they're near death, right? And they're like in Istanbul or something, and they just see a young couple walk out of a bar and they start kissing. And Hiddleston and Swinton kind of look at each other, and then they look at the couple, and it never happens in the movie, but the final shot, they just grab the couple, and the camera pans, and they're just fucking monsters, fucking glowing eyes, fangs out, and they just and it's just like, and so the whole time you're like, oh yeah, they were fucking evil vampires. Why the fuck was I invested in these fucking pieces of shit? Let them fucking starve. You know what I mean? Like, it was such a great shot, and that's how this Penguin film. It was the Penguin show. It just, by the time you get to the end, I was like, why did I fucking give a shit about this? You know what I mean? Like they should have. It was, oh fuck, dude. It was, whoo. It's good shit, man. I
can't wait to watch it.
I really think you need to see it. And then, if you don't mind, I mentioned we might talk some music on Friday's Ramble Radio. But
okay.
I mentioned the loot, and I'm very upset. It happened on my stream. Born to Run brought this up, and I love Born to Run. But he brought this up on one of my streams, and the other night, Andre and I went to visit her brother up in Simi Valley, Moore Park.
Yeah,
it's a long drive home, right?
Yeah,
hour and 45 minutes. So Andre, here's the best part about the nighttime road trip. She doesn't like driving at night, right? So I'll drive this motherfucker, and she starts to just pass out. Right, like chicks do,
right,
on road trips, right?
Right,
it's a very ladylike thing to do, and I'm just like, I'm playing we don't got to do with her 90s on 9 bullshit, right? We ain't got to listen to her 90s on 9 on Sirius XM shit. The big man, I'm fucking, and so I'm just playing. I just got in a metal kick, right? And so I'm playing like, fucking Whitesnake.
Nice.
But have you ever heard the original "Here I Go Again on My Own"?
The one that was on the album?
Yeah. There was one.
Oh, the one where they changed the lyrics. He changed the lyrics.
It was like 4 years older, and it's a gospel song. It's fucking great. It's the whole, like, the main instrument's a fucking church organ in the whole song. Here I go again on my own. It's fucking great. Anyway. They overproduced it, popped it up. I love the version we all knew, right? Yeah. But I appreciate the old version. I started thinking, man, and I was listening to David Coverdale, and I was telling Andre, he actually said, I love doing my stupid, unimportant knowledge, right? The trivia that no one would care about. I still like to live my life, Eddie, like I'm going to get tapped on the shoulder, and someone's going to put me on Rock and Roll Jeopardy on VH1, and I got to be ready. Like, I'm okay, I got this. And I was like, well, David Coverdale, before Whitesnake, he sang for Deep Purple when Ian Gillan first parted ways with Deep Purple. And so I played him like the Stormbringer, a couple of cuts off Stormbringer. I'm like, yeah, that's a guy from Whitesnake, but he's Deep Purple. And then listening, and I played some Deep Purple, Perfect Strangers. Do you ever heard that? You remember that song, right?
Yeah.
Da, na, 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 na,
yeah.
Their 80s comeback. Can you remember? Ooh, remember my name. And so we're jamming out to that shit, which, by the way, if you make Deep Purple's Perfect Strangers the theme song to the sitcom, does it miss a beat?
No. Probably enhances it. Probably enhances it.
You see Cousin Larry get into his car to chase his dreams. Balky's on the fucking wagon. Anyway, it was The Dance of Joy. You do that to Perfect Strangers by Deep Purple. What are we talking about here? But anyway, so I'm playing her all these things, and then I was like, and then I just start thinking about a comment Born to Run had made, and I think he did it on purpose on my stream to get under my goat, to get my goat, to get under my skin, to get my goat,
to goat you,
to goat me. And he brought up what happened to Richie Blackmore, and I'm still mad. He's a guitar god, Eddie.
Yeah.
Fucking smoke on the water. My Woman from Tokyo. Hush. Perfect. I mean, Deep Purple. And what happens? Do you know where I'm going with this?
I'm not really. I'm trying to follow.
Okay. You know what? We're going to discover this in real time. Do you have a smartphone handy?
I do.
Okay. I want you to type in Blackmore, like Richie Blackmore, black, and then more, and then apostrophe S, and then night, like nighttime. Blackmore's night. Just look at the images, and that's what this motherfucker. He left Deep Purple to do this.
A Ren Faire?
Yes.
Jesus.
He got some fucking Wiccan pussy, and he's like, so the singer, that's his wife. Yes, that's his wife. And so he just got some fucking Ren Faire pussy, and he never looked back.
Wow.
I don't know, like, and the music sounds just like what that picture would make you think it sounds like. There it is. The music sounds exactly like that. Motherfucker's dressed like Link from Legend of Zelda, and he's cutting records.
Wow.
How do you go from to I went down to the market to trade a chicken for a radish? You know, like, what?
It must be some magic snatch.
The hash?
Just some mystical vag. I mean, what else could it be?
Is this a Wiccans must be stopped, or do they need to be respected more? What is it? Look what the Wiccans did to Richie Blackmore, for fuck's sakes? Right. Or is it goddamn mad props to the Wiccans? Because shit, they turned that motherfucker. The Wiccans got that motherfucker. And they
Man, that's a turn.
He's been doing that shit for 20 years. It's like, motherfucker, you were just... Are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
Fucking dump that bitch and go get your Stratocaster. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Wow.
So I just don't know. Like, and some people like that shit. I can't imagine how, but like, to me, this is like in real time. You see that king from Two Towers at Wormtongue was just fucking, possessing and controlling like they did. The Wiccans did that to Richie Blackmore. Do you think he just has a pouch with gold coins in it, and that's how he walks around?
He must.
He has like a little silver coin and some pouch he takes to the market. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Buy some mead.
And you thought those fucking swing big band motherfuckers from the late '90s needed to realize what decade they're in. They're at a century. These guys, they're like 4 centuries. But like, imagine somebody showing you can get some Air Jordans. What the fuck's wrong? You walk around with fucking these 400-year-old boots, motherfucker. What's the matter with you? What are you fucking doing to yourself? He fucked one Wiccan at a Renaissance fair. We lost. She took him. I don't even know if Deep Purple's in the Hall of Fame. Are they out now?
there has to be consideration made. I would imagine there's discussion.
2016 they were in. Are they the first ones to get out? Are they the first ones that they removed from the Hall of Fame?
I mean, can you remove from the Hall of Fame if you've done something that's like taking OJ out of the Hall of Fame? Do you take OJ out of the Hall of Fame?
Well, here's the thing though. I think if OJ had murdered like a coach during a game, right? Like let's say they had like an old timers game and he murdered one of his coaches during the game, I think he's out. And this is similar. They're in the game. This is music.
Right.
And look what he's done. Look, it's just like if Deep Purple's bust in the Hall of Fame, does there need to be an asterisk next to it now? Or at least next to Richie Blackmore's name?
I mean, do we punish all of Deep Purple for?
See, that's a problem. Ian Gillan, Roger Glover, Ian Pay, they don't, Lord, they don't need to be kicked out. Do they?
I don't think you punish all of Deep Purple.
John Lord, you don't need to kick him out. So
No.
what do? Do you just does Blackmore get an asterisk?
Probably. Or you just have to put that hat on his bust. That stupid fucking hat. That pointy little hat.
That fucking Harry Potter sorting hat that he wears. Like, motherfucker, what is wrong with you? You were a fucking god. And now you're wearing the sorting hat. Every fucking gig you have the fucking Hogwarts sorting hat.
Playing a fucking mandolin. Shredding that mandolin.
Shredding that fucking hurdy-gurdy. Fucking, he's got a hurt like this. It's fucking... Oh, there it is. So I don't know. Again, do we close the ramble? Do we fear the Wiccan or do we respect? Is it?
I might have to fear the Wiccan.
I think
we let the Wiccan do what the Wiccan wants to do.
We don't get in the Wiccan's way.
No.
And then you don't show mad props because then maybe like, oh, you want in on this, and then they get you. And then
No.
I'm doing a ramble dressed like fucking Robin Hood. Holy shit. What a ramble, everybody. We did it. Look at that. 421 in the books. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Eddie, I'm glad you could feel well enough to get through this, buddy. Hope you now go rest. You've earned it. Oh, we love you guys. You know where to find us. All that good shit. Subscribe, 5-star rating, positive text review. We shall return Friday for an all-new Ramble Radio. Until then, stay safe. We love you all. Take care, everybody. Adios. Let's hit there. Oh, man.
There it is.
Do we get Blackmore's Knight to do it, give us a new?
Maybe.
God. Okay. Could you watch a show? Could you sit through a Blackmore's Night concert just from looking at the outfit?
No. The whole
you
show?
Couldn't do it. The whole show.
I don't think so. No. I mean, at the absolute best, that's background music when you're at a Ren Fair.
Absolute best.
It's not, I'm going to go watch this music.
Oh, hold on. Let's go check these guys out.
I've heard good things.